What's up guys, Coda here, and today I want to take a look at one of my games that I played the other day. This was a Taric game that I played for the Super League Gaming City Tournament thing. This was up against Boston, and just for those that don't know what it is, it was highly advertised on League's client. Pretty much, you had to do some qualifier games, and the top people from each different tier would get in to be on the team. They split up the player base in your city by there's like top 16 were tier 1, next 33% were tier 2, next 33% were tier 3, and then the rest were tier 4. So I was tier 2. Tier 2 was mostly comprised of high silver to flat, or at least my city. And yeah, this was the second day of playing. So first day we played against New York. My team won one, lost one, but Miami overall didn't win. And this was against Boston, and yeah, this was the second game against them. We played 2 games each. And in the first game, our top laner played Nasus, and yeah, that pretty much we had a Nasus Veigar, and I was playing Taric again. We had Nasus Veigar, Tristana, Taric, and Lee Sin, and we won by 25 minutes. And so we decided, let's just do the same comp. If we can win with a late game team comp by 25 minutes, then let's just do the same thing. Nasus was banned, but so we picked up Tristana, Taric, and Evelyn early on. And yeah, you're gonna see that my Taric, and just Taric in general, is really strong when you can communicate properly. So the first part of this laning phase is mostly just like, if they go in, I stun, but that's pretty much it. I have to burn exhaust here just to make sure my ADC stays alive, and my ADC is going to get extremely fed this game, mostly out of this laning phase going so well. It should be noted that one of Boston's players wasn't there, so they had to get a sub. So their ADC was supposed to be their support, but that didn't happen. Yeah. So pretty much right now for the laning phase, we're playing it very similar to how we played the last game, and it was pretty much just like, if I get a stun off, we go in and fight, and just make sure that Tristana don't burn her jump and save it for when the jungler comes, or if they turn on us and we find out that they actually do a bit more than what we thought they did. The one thing we have to worry about in this lane is that once MF gets starts building towards her Youmu's or Duskblade or whatever she's getting, that we have to be careful, because she will be able to poke us pretty hard. And the one thing I have to make sure I keep doing is I have to make sure that I'm auto-attacking after I use my heal, so that way I always have another heal ready to go. Early on, the heal, well, in general, your heal on Taric cost a lot, so you can't necessarily spam it, which is not something that's great for this lane. Because I kind of do have to spam it if MF gets enough Qs off on me or my ADC. I'm going to have to use my heal. So the best use of it is to store up charges and then use the heal. In this game, I will be maxing my heal, maxing my Q, because we definitely need that. And as long as I'm just making sure I use it at the right times, then we should be fine. So Volibear comes here, and this is like an amazing play right here. So I'm going to E. Or is it here? I'm going to E. Volibear throws Tristana back and flashes forcing the stun to hit everyone. And so we end up killing Nami. Tristana gets a reset from the kill. Volibear is still going after her. My stun is almost back up because as Taric, you use an ability, you attack. Use an ability, you attack. Every time you attack after using an ability, you're cutting down, you're getting rid of seconds off the cooldown. So my stun's back up. We forced an Emma flash off of that as well. You know, they came bot, and because Volibear flinged her and flashed, we were able to get a kill and get an MF flash. Like, that is insane. And it's really Volibear's fault. It is Volibear's fault. And then MF walks back up, and yeah. Easy kill. So, we got that, our jungler's like, let's get drag, it's Infernal, we're like, yeah, sure, sounds good. Our jungler is really good at prioritizing dragons. Sometimes, you know, he can get it and it's like, well, you should really just be farming at this point, and you've put yourself farther behind, but for the most part, he does a good job of being like, okay, we need to get dragon now. So at this point, my Tristana has a BF sword, I have Sight Stone and Targons. And yeah, that compared to MF's double longsword, we're sitting next to each other in the theater, which is where we play our games. There's like 12 different teams, and we all play our games in the theater. And so I'm sitting next to them, like, hey, we have a huge advantage on them right now. Our Evelynn comes down. Unfortunately, so does their Ori. And, you know, it is what it is. I ult just to try to make sure that he stays alive, but I'm gonna run out of mana here, and Ori's gonna catch back up and kill. So that is an Ori flash down though, and that's Orianna's ult down though, so I let my mid laner know, like, hey, Ori doesn't have ult, you know, make sure you abuse that. I'm generally really good at, well, in general, when we're on comms, when I'm on comms, I'm generally very, good with, generally very vocal, that's what I'm looking for, when it comes to, calling out things, being like, hey, so-and-so doesn't have ult, so-and-so doesn't have flash, you need to punish this. You need to go in now. Like, right now, when they were going top, I was telling them, hey, you cannot win this 2v2. You cannot win that. It's not going to happen. And unfortunately, my top laner flashed before its ult was done, which is not what you're supposed to do. But they fight under tower, which is enough to help them do that. And then Kled goes back under it for some reason. And yeah. Down here in the bot lane, I am making sure that I'm taking out ward after ward in this Tribush, because I know that they want to have control wards down here, so that way they know when Evelynn's coming. And because of that, I'm like, okay, we're gonna make sure that you have 0 wards down here. And so every time they throw a ward in there, I'm like, okay, I'm telling my ADC, okay, we need to go and take out this ward now. I have a control ward for this, I have a sweeper for this now. And we're making sure that they don't have a single ward down in bot lane, and that we know when their jungler is coming. Which, if Volibear does show up, it doesn't really make a big difference. You see here, I'm already pathing over because I'm already assuming that they're going to ward. Which they go and do that. And I'm just kind of sitting here waiting like, okay. You know, my sweeper will get up eventually. And right now, we're just pushing them off the wave, and we're just saying, you're not going to get on the minions, you're not gonna farm, you're gonna have to just be, you're gonna force to be farming the tower. They throw a ward down there, and I'm not really too worried about that ward, because it's not a control ward. I'm more so worried about this bush, the tri-bush, than the river. Nami goes to clear that ward, which isn't a big deal. I still have 2 charges in my sweeper. And yeah, you can see the CS difference, 81 to 50 CS, plus I have a 12 CS on top of that, and I have Targon's Brace charges that I should really be using up, but I'm not really paying attention to that. I'm more so paying attention to, I want vision control, and I'm, you know, trying to help make calls for my team. You know, like we have no vision on volleyball right now. However, normally we would be like, if we were like pushing up, we would be calling that out, like, hey, or we don't have any vision of volleyball. We don't know where he's gonna be. We don't, you know, if Cled's missing, we gotta watch out for that. However, we're so far ahead at this point. You can see we're up 1.5k. And in the bot lane, we're so far ahead, it's like, it doesn't really matter. We have wards down, so we know if Volibear is going to show up. Even if he shows up, it doesn't really matter. Tristana can farm very easily and just jump out. Our jungler's like, I'm gonna come bot, I'm telling him, oh, that's not necessarily a great idea because Volibear is going to be down here. And so I was trying to save my heal for when we were gonna fight though, just in case we did, and then unfortunately what happened was Tristana got poked down a bit too much, so I had to wait. So my heal needs to recharge back up. Nami comes over here, which is a bad idea on her part. She wards this, but it doesn't really accomplish anything because we have a control ward in there and we have an Evelyn. So it doesn't really mean anything. So we make the call, go, 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 and I ult. Volibear shows up here, and as well as Kled, and so I don't think Kled kills me here. Yeah, I wait for the ult to hit me, so then I flash away, so that way the ult doesn't follow me, and I get out, and then I'm pretty sure the rest of my team gets out here. Yeah, because yeah, but Orianna is showing up, so Orianna ults for an Elise, Evelyn flash, and my Tristana just jumped away. So now they're at Baron. I have no ultimate on Taric, so we can't go invulnerable. But Orianna has no ult, which is really good. In fact, none of them have ult, aside from maybe Volibear. And we just walk over here, and I'm pretty sure he gets Volibear. I die, unfortunately, because I was going too far in when my mid laner didn't have any mana. But Tristana gets another kill, and yeah, this is looking pretty good for us. My ADC is just going to farm up in bot lane, and you know, it's 103 CS to 64. Emma's dead. This is gonna get pushed under her tower. She's not gonna be able to get any of this farm. We're looking pretty good right now. And pretty much down in bot lane, it's just like, do I have ult? Do I have ult? Can I stun them? If so, let's fight. That's pretty much how it is, how it's going to be for the rest of this laning phase. And you're gonna see how we pretty much abuse the fact that we're so far ahead that you just can't stop us. That's one of the things that Taric is really good at. He's really good at snowballing a lead because of the invulnerability. You can see right now, there's nothing really going on down in bot lane, so I decide, I'm just going to ward the jungle. I see Volibear, so we have vision on him now. We know that he just took his red buff. And yeah, pretty much, since I had nothing to do in bot lane, it was just ward the jungle, make sure we get vision on their jungler so that way we can keep track of him to be able to make appropriate calls. We got tower and top lane during all of that, or Darius got that. And yeah, so far this is going really great. We have an Infernal Drake, they have a Mountain Drake, not a really big deal. Infernal Drake is much better. And the next Drake up is an Ocean Drake. Not necessarily something that we need, but something that would be useful. Fed walks by over here, and he's making a play to go mid. So we know that Kled's not going to be down in bot lane. We see Volibear here, and I call out, hey, Volibear is going to you guys. Volibear is going to you guys. Do not fight. Do not fight. And so they should be backing off here. Our jungler wants to invade and get the blue buff. I'm like, you can't do it. You cannot go in there because it is going to be a 2v2 or 2v3 if Ori shows up. So that is not something that we want to happen. Plus, he's going AD, which isn't necessarily the worst thing, but it's not something I would necessarily want. So I get a stun off on Nami, and we almost kill Nami. Almost kill Nami. Unfortunately, the heal stops that from happening. But now Nami is gone. At this point, I'm going to start spamming my heal, spamming my abilities. so that way we can have enough health to dive the Misfortune. So I'm telling my ADC, I'm telling him like, hey, I have ult. I can land a stun because I'm taking movement speed and I have Moby boots at this point. And so it's just like I run up, and MF's trying to get away, but she can't because I have Moby boots and I have an extra 3% movement speed from my runes and another 3 from my masteries. Yeah, she just can't escape, and I just ult to make sure that we take no tower damage, and I honestly don't think that was even necessary, to be honest. And yeah, we just killed them in bot lane, so we're winning in bot right now. We got tower, so at this point I'm like, okay, it's time to go mid, boys! Getting Rift Herald would be nice. Can't remember if we get it or not in this game, though. So, right now, we're winning. The Orianna is kind of a problem right now, but the MF is useless because she built Dustblade. Like, I get that, you know, Armor Pen or lethality. MF is really good, but I really don't like it. I would prefer the crit instead. So at this point right now, they have to send their jungler mid because their ADC has to farm up. That or come mid. Either way, they can't stop us from getting tower. They can only like just clear the waves and just delay it. Our jungler has no mana, and so I tell him like, you can't be here. You can't be here, man. You're gonna die, and you're just not gonna be useful. So I just throw a stun out. We almost kill Volibear actually, and we force a Nami ult. All for a tower, really. Like, we got a lot out of that. Kled's coming over here, just gonna try to stun him up, and yeah, pretty much our main problem right now is going to be that Kled. He is only 1, 2, and 3, but if he can get on one of our carries, it can be a very big problem. If he can get on Veigar, if he can get on Tristana, it can be a big issue. Because he does deal quite a bit of damage, especially with that Black Cleaver Tiamat. So, I got Evelyn coming in. I flash E to get the stun off on Misfortune, and he makes sure that he... I have no idea what's going on. I got the stun off on someone. We killed 2 people. We burned another flash as well while we're here. Fortunately, tower does kill me here. Yeah. Tower's gonna get me. Volibear didn't need to touch me. But we killed Volibear and Kled for it. So, that's worth. So, at this point, it's just like, let's get tower, and then go dragon, and then prepare for Baron is the main thing. At this point, it's going to be push side lanes, keep pressure on mid though, and get Baron is the main thing that we have to do. So, right now, we're in a really good position. We have a Veigar that's going to get stronger and stronger as the game goes on. I'm really good at protecting our team as we continue forward. And their Volibear is relatively useless. He can get caught out relatively easily. His Q or whatever speeds him up doesn't really do much at all for him. MF gets caught out super easily. I just flashed on her and she can't get away because I have Moby boots, which is not something that you normally take on Taric. But I find that if I take Moby boots and I run 3% movement speed in my mastery page or my rune page, that it's very easy to catch out people as the game goes on. And it works out very well, and unless like I really need to be tankier, then that's what I'm gonna do. Tide ults away, which is really great. That's one less ability that we have to worry about. So I tell bot lane, like, just push, push, push. As long as you're careful, you don't have a Kled that you have to worry about getting on you. At this point, we have to back off. We got a top and bot tower there. And the game gets into kind of a lull because we have to be trying to work on getting Baron while making sure the waves are pushed. And they do a relatively decent job of pushing the waves. So we try to get towers and whatnot, but it's honestly more so just a waste of time. And I kind of let my team know, like, hey, we need to just back, we need to buy gold, or we need to spend our gold, we need to buy items. And yeah, right now I have a Face of the Mountain and a Knight's Vow, so my ADC should be living for quite a bit of time at this point. Face of the Mountain is just a really great item, especially when you combo it with a Ruby Sightstone. But ult, but he's down in bot lane ulting, and he doesn't even get our jungler, or our jungler does flash for it, but it's whatever. Yeah, we get Baron. Because they didn't have any vision on it. We had them all pushed in. We had the waves all pushed in on their base. And they just kind of had to deal with it. So at this point, we should really be looking for getting the inhib in mid lane, as that's going to be the easiest thing for us to take, because there is no tower there. An inhib is much easier to get than a tower. So I'm telling everyone, like, hey, we need a group mid, we need a group mid. And yeah, pretty much we can just kind of just snowball all over their team, because with my ult, we don't have to worry about a tower necessarily. We don't have to worry about an MF ult. We don't have to worry about a Kled ult. You know, if one of them ults, I just ult, I pop a heal to keep my people alive, I, you know, throw a W on someone to give them another shield on top of that, plus Face of the Mountain. I can always switch Knight's Vow to someone else if my ADC isn't there, or they're not in whatever's getting hit. And yeah, you know, both games that we played ended in, you know, under 26 minutes. Both games. The first game that we played was like a 24-minute game, and we had a Nasus on our team. And we had an Nasus that literally just, I mean, well, to be fair, they had a Lulu top, but still, we just snowballed. And yeah, you can see by the end of the game, my ADC is 8-1-6. I am 1-2-13. And can I see my... I don't think I can see my gold with this. But yeah, we did great. And this shows how great Taric is, how great Taric can be, especially when he's on comms. And that is why you're starting to see him competitive. And I kind of call this, I don't think I put a video. No, I didn't. I haven't put up anything in a while. But when they first gave Taric this buff for his Q, I knew that he was going to start being competitive. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. Remember, like and subscribe if you did. And yeah, see you on the next one. Thanks.